relaying a few messages for you, and then we're going to go into this spread right here, okay? So, what I'm sensing for a lot of you guys for this month is that you're trying to experience life anew. You're trying to begin kind of like a new process, a new chapter in your life. And I feel almost like there's this push and pull factor as to how you're going to be able to do that and when is the appropriate time to act. So I feel like, on the one hand, you do want these new changes in a very strong way, but on the other hand, I feel like you're also contemplating the practical responsibilities that you have to take care of in your own life and whether or not it's going to allow you to start like a brand new phase in your life, okay? So let me just say the first message I'm getting here is I feel like in the past, a lot of you have been very, very loyal and very just sincere and very obedient. That's what it feels like to me. You did things by the book. You did everything that you were supposed to in a procedurally correct way. And I feel in the process of doing that, a lot of you might be in a position where you're just like, but what about my social life? What about the fun and excitement that was supposed to come through? Like, is work and career and, responsibilities all there is to it? And so a lot of you might be in your 30s or your 40s watching this and thinking to yourself, I haven't really lived. I want to explore a little bit. I want to live a little. And then for others of you doing things procedurally the correct way, I feel like other people might have interfered in your life in a way where it created a little bit of discord. So I feel that, the people that you let into your life might have affected you for the worse. They might have convinced you in a course of action that might not have been good for you down the line or good for the unit, you and them together as a unit down the line. So I do see a lot of you coming into this month where, it's like the breakthrough, the new beginning type of a month where you have reassessed, the relationships that have contributed very little to your growth. And you have also reassessed the relationships that might have been detrimental for you. So the past 3 months of this year, I feel was kind of like that reorganizing, reshuffling phase where you needed to reassess. And I feel like February being a strong month of major reassessment for you guys based on the reading that I did, where you had to, put an end to some things, some behaviors, some situations in your life that really held you back, whether that be leaving a job, starting a new phase in your life, new jobs, new locations, new housing situations, and then leaving relationships, reassessing, the ones that work and the ones that didn't. And I feel a lot of you scrapping away friendships that might have drifted away, or friendships that are no longer, that didn't show themselves to be contributing to your growth, okay, or people that were no longer on your path. And I feel like because the reorganizations of like, that period where you started to accept that, okay, the baggage is gone, and other friendships that you can build or rebuild, as well as new ways of doing that will allow you to invite new people and new energies, which takes us to this present moment in time where I'm sensing that, the energy you're bringing to the month of April is this. It shows up here as the Two of Pentacles. It's sort of like that deep-rooted fear. Should I or shouldn't I? And it deals with, major investments that you're making. And I'm not just talking like financial investments. It's like investing in a project, investing in a new person, investing in a new endeavor that you don't really know how it's going to pan out, but you want it to be a financially or even a productive endeavor, okay? And I'm also sensing that for many of you, there has been a lot of fears plaguing you. And as a result, because it didn't get better, you might have been in that period where you waited for communication, you waited for the other person to decide so that you can know which direction you can head towards. And coming through for this month, your energy is very, very decisive. I feel like you are no longer putting your life in on hold, on hiatus, waiting on decisions for other people. You're thinking up plans, formulating new projects, new ideas, new plans that you can implement into the world. So the whole process of, either waiting for a decision from other people, waiting for money to come through, waiting for financial, investment opportunities coming through from other people. This is the month in which you start to take ownership of your own life and to start doing things. It's sort of like following a roadmap, thinking about like a 5, 10 year plan, laying it out in front of you and figuring out realistically, how am I going to be able to achieve these 5 year plans, 10 year plans? How am I going to realistically do them? And how can I break them down into little achievements or little parts, so then I can tackle them in I guess like in a more manageable fashion, so that you can gradually make progress and move forward. Okay, so I do see major decluttering of your life happening. It starts with friends sometime this month, as well as like I see a lot of you putting things in little packages and donating them, cleaning out your attic, donating them, or even just getting rid of excess clothes, books, or if you are an empty nester, like cleaning out your children's rooms and getting rid of things that like books. I see a lot of books. I see a lot of toys. And I feel like some of you might have been very avid readers. You might have been, you might have like a study in your house where you make it like your little lair where you have a lot of books piled up, and you have a recliner, you sit and you read. And so you're trying to find more social activities to do. And a lot of you, honestly, I feel like a very, very shy energy about you. And you might not have like a huge network of friends, but I do feel the friends that are around, they mean a lot to you. And so this whole process about traveling light, trying to declutter your space, I feel it permeating through this month. Okay, so that's what I'm feeling is coming through the strongest. The way that you are carrying yourself in the ways that you communicate. We have here the Magician. This is one of the best cards as it deals with communication. It indicates somebody who's very eloquent with their speech, somebody who has who has like a voice of authority. So even if you are not in a position of power, like you're not a manager, a supervisor, a CEO, a head of a company, you still have a lot of power, persuasion, and the ability to intelligently narrate, provide advice, to narrate. So you speak with an air of authority on a specific topic, and I do feel people around you, they listen to you mainly because they trust you. So this is a very good card that indicates your communication sector is opening up, and it's opening up not in a way where you are limited as to whether or not you can I guess like express concepts, either abstract or concrete concept. This is an encapsulation of all the elements. So he has like everything on the table. So the suit of pentacles, cups, as well as swords and wands. So this is somebody who is able to I guess like synthesize all of their life experience, all the things that they've learned, as well as, the things that was passed down to them, so that they can holistically get their point across using a myriad of anecdotes through, their lifetime. They have collected a lot of practical as well as even institutional knowledge, so that they can communicate in a way that allows other people to trust them and to trust in their expertise. So if you are doing any type of public speaking engagement, this is a card that is telling you to look into this sector as it relates to your career, okay? And if you are in any type of position where you are kind of like in the public limelight, so I do see teachers, politicians, community like advocates, people doing some type of where they're kind of like on center stage all the time. They have to give other people directives, and they have to also project an air of competency, and I'm seeing like a loud voice. You guys are not usually somebody who's like aggressive, but I feel like there is a moment coming through for this month as it relates to your work environment where you are going to have to kind of like exert that air of authority in the work environment, okay? And so it's a great card for salespeople. It's a great card for people who are giving seminars, who work in a communications type of field. Communication is, it deals with language, it deals with voice, it also deals with publishing, printing as well. So anything that you put on paper, anything that you try to communicate with the general population, it is going to be very, very well received, okay? I do feel like for some of you, the career sector is showing up heavily in your relationship. So let me just say this. This is a card about somebody possibly working two jobs, okay? So one main gig and one side gig, or doing two side gigs to piece together a full-time job. This is a card that basically is telling you about, the work-life, personal life balance. And I do feel here for some of you, you have entered into, some type of a new relationship, and it's solid, it's very stable, and you want to take things to the next level. But I do feel because both of these cards are in, opposition to one another, it basically is telling you that there are going to be challenges when it comes to your work sector, either the hours or either the financial income that's coming through, that's going to affect the relationship. So this is something, coming in early that you might want to try to flush out, okay? Getting your work situation in a more of a stable, consistent manner, getting the appropriate rest and getting the proper time off, so, the proper weekends off, or the proper just the proper vacation days off so that you can devote that to your relationship sector. So it's telling you to balance the personal life and the work life, all right? I'm also feeling that some of you might have had a very, like a relationship where responsibilities might have been very one-sided. So one person might have been doing all the work, and then the other person either contributed, financially, or did not contribute at all. So I feel like a very wobbly environment in your past as it relates to single. You really like you enjoy your alone time, you enjoy your company, and so it's a little bit of a challenge trying to incorporate another person into your life. I'm seeing some of you, you might be like single coming through this year, trying to adopt a new pet, or with like one or two kids, and you're inundated with a lot of responsibilities, but you got yourself into a very good routine. And then having another person, a relationship partner especially, in your romantic sector, I feel like it's also eating away or chipping away at that sense of normalcy. So you're not really sure how much to invest, and you're trying to find that good balance, okay? In your housing sector, we have here the Ace of Cups, and it did show up in the reverse position. This is a card in which there might have been like a major falling out within the household unit. So this can also deal with in-laws. It can also deal with, a relationship partner if you have been living with them. There is some type of, they're saying like a housing situation that needs to be sorted out for this month. So with the Ace of Cups, this is something that is ideal. It's the ideal love. And if it falls into your fourth house, which is family, I do sense falling out between family members. So, be very careful about the way that you communicate. And honestly, pick your battles. You are coming in very persuasive, so I don't feel like you're going to be backing down from something that needs to be said, from like stating the truth or stating your case to a family member. And as a result of that, I feel like it can create hurt feelings as well. But I feel that you're in a position where you need to give somebody a piece of your mind in your family unit. And as a result of that, it can create this rift. And I feel like you might have been dealing with this rift for quite some time. Okay, for some of you, I do feel like possibly health news as it relates to a member of your family. And I do see younger pets. I do see like, younger or older pets. I do see younger children. I do see like, under the teenage years, like from 12 and below. So some issues here regarding just they're saying like unconditional love when it comes to family members. It's almost like you're telling somebody you should do it this way. This is the right way to do it, and no matter what, they're not listening to you. Okay, so if it's not your child that you're dealing with, I feel like you need to take more of a hands-off parenting approach. And then for others of you, the living environment is becoming a little bit unbearable, and you're trying to explore new housing options. So I do feel here, this is traditionally what I consider new projects, but also new housing arrangements. So I'm sensing many of you are in a housing situation. It's becoming a little bit stifling. It could be, issues with neighbors, landlords is what I'm feeling as well, or being in an environment where you don't feel that sense of peace. Okay, so water signs are deeply very homebody oriented. And when you come home, you want it to be a place of safety and a place of comfort and like a refuge for you. But there's something here, there's some type of discord in your neighborhood or in your environment where it's not making you feel like it's the ideal situation anymore. So you are possibly thinking about exploring other housing opportunities, okay? If you have been looking at houses and new apartments or new, change of scenery, it is going to be coming through for you. And I also feel like at this point you might have stayed for the past 2 years at a job, mainly so that you could get that, the job stability or the security, so that you can get yourself into a new home. And if that's the case, I feel like it's going to pan out for you. All right. So I do see new housing arrangements coming through. I do see a living situation that's not ideal and you want to break free from it. And you are at a point where you are making quite a bit of money. And so you're telling yourself, why not? On the one hand, I have the security. If for those of you who might be living with like parents or grandparents, I feel that this is the month in which you're trying to branch out so that you can get your own space. And I feel like you're looking at greener pastures. Like once I have my own space, I have all this room, I have all this freedom, I can get a pet, I can have more children and things like that. So parents are living with a family situation where there are, like generational family members that are in the same environment. So I feel like you are at a point where you're making quite a bit of money. Your financial situation is going to stabilize for this month. And so I feel like you're thinking about renting your own space or even sharing space with a friend or with like a coworker or something like that. So that's going to pan out really, really well for you. For those of you who have your own property, I feel more of cocooning type of energy. So you're trying to break out. You're trying to do more outdoor activities. You're trying to, connect with new people and form your new group association so that you can have a little bit more, I guess, like freedom of movement when it comes to, feeling a little bit more welcome and embedded in your community. With the Ace of Wands coming through, this is a card greatly about, outdoor activities as well as like hiking. I do see a lot of working out, but doing so in a more outdoors type of environment rather than a gym. So I feel that there is going to be, new partnerships being formed surrounding recreational activities. And I also feel for some of you, you might be dabbling in multiple projects. There is another person coming through with a third project. It seems very exciting and fun, and I feel like you are going to take on new additional projects to make money, but also because you feel like it's going to be a challenge and it's going to be quite fun for you. I do feel don't overwork and don't stretch yourself too thin for this month. I do sense some of you. I do see a lot of allergic reactions. I do feel as well. Rest and restoration is going to be needed for you, and especially towards the tail end. It's a fire sign, so it greatly rules the head, and I do see head fevers as well as migraines. Those things can be kicked up, so just be a little bit careful. Get lots of fluids and make sure if you're doing physical activities, don't push yourself too hard, okay? So I do sense that coming through, like fevers, headaches, and also head flus as well, like allergies, congestion, and things like that associated with the sinus passages and the head. So take good care of your health. Keep yourself, hydrated, okay? In terms of your career, let me talk about this. This is a situation where we are working behind the scenes and we're not really sure if we're making progress or if we're getting the compensation or the accolades or the positive reception that we deserve, okay? Sometime for this month, you're going to want to step away from the background, like the backdrop, and you're going to be put into a position where you're going to be able to have other people look up to you. And I feel some of you, you're very good at a career where I feel like you don't shy away from hard work. You're really okay working behind the scenes and making sure things are taken care of logistically so that events, so that the workflow can, can flow really well. But this is the month in which you are questioning the validity of what you're doing. So I do see as well, they are saying, the ego space, operating from an ego space. So just be a little bit. So your communication sector looks very strong, but I do feel that the people around you, especially in the work environment, they might undervalue the contributions that you're making to the work project. And so just, let the energy pass. Don't kick up anything. Don't get confrontational, okay? But I feel like there is an element here about, are we on the right track when it comes to our career? What do we do now? What other behind the scenes project can we get involved in? And I also feel like some of you might be working in a more clandestine type of an operation, doing research behind the scenes, okay? Doing something that you can't reveal to the public. So this can be laying down the groundwork, preliminary groundwork for a major project to take off, or even doing like cost benefits analysis. I'm seeing a lot of people doing analysts, research, as well as investigative types of work. And this is also a work where there's a lot of paperwork involved as well. So you might be even be in some type of therapy work where there's a lot of like backlogged items that needs to be documented, or a lot of things that needs to it's almost like rushing to finish up reports so that you can submit them and close out cases. So case managers, researchers, investigators, and I'm seeing people that might be working behind the scenes a lot, sending out payments for clients, for example, so that you can get, the full amount paid up front. So that's what you're spending the majority of the month catching up on, wrapping up old projects so that you can fully start into new things, okay? So it's a really good energy, and I feel like there's quite a bit of money to be had that can be coming through for a lot of you. So I see a lot of wrapping up old things and starting new things as well at the same time. So make sure you don't stretch yourself too thin. Don't burn the midnight oil, and be careful about, towards the last week of the month, take very good care of your health, okay? take your vitamins, and especially just get in a lot of water, because I feel like we're heading into warmer months for those of us in the northern hemisphere. So I feel like if you're outside overtaxing yourself, it might wreak its havoc on you. Okay, as a water sign, you need to rehydrate and get plenty of fluid in your system. One of your fears that I'm feeling here is a situation where a lot of you might have in the past experienced a work environment where you feel like you were underpaid or underemployed. So it felt almost as if your skills weren't properly utilized. And you're also, and I do sense for some of you, there might have been schooling situations that for whatever reason you couldn't finish up, or you didn't finish up, and for whatever reason that is, so you're still thinking about that. I don't feel you starting anything right now in the schooling sector, but you're heavily thinking about, do I really need to go back to school so that I can, get myself into a position where I'm not underpaid and underemployed? So you're heavily thinking about skills upgrade, learning a new course, possibly a new language, or even learning a new, I'm seeing like accounting system, or even like learning a new software. So spending time even in the work environment, refreshing your skills, or taking up like new courses so that you can learn a new skills as it relates to something that you're doing in the work front. What I'm also sensing as well is I'm feeling some of you are having almost this I'm seeing like dreams of lands far away, and you're trying to get your financial situation in order so that you can take a major trip. So I feel like you want to do it. You might have wanted to do, in which you might be talking very casually, in a preliminary way with another person, and you're trying to run some ideas by them. Like, do you want to go here? Do you want to go here? And I feel like you're dreaming about faraway lands. I'm honestly seeing this image of you guys on a recliner, having like a drink, like just sitting in a living room on a recliner, watching TV, and you're seeing like clear waters. You're seeing like snow-covered mountains. You're seeing like foreign lands. You're seeing lands that are far away, very exotic. And I feel like you want to be there. And a lot of the hesitation that you have, honestly, it's because you feel like you couldn't do it alone. You either were waiting on another person to do it with, or you're just like, oh, it's a pipe dream. And I feel like there might have been financial constraints. There might have been housing constraints too, where you can't easily relocate, right? But this is the month in which those dreams are coming back in, where you might tell yourself, it's totally doable. And honestly, I feel like it is definitely doable, but you don't know how to take that first step. And so they're really urging you. Everything you need is right in front of you, right? And like all the planning that needs to do. Trips don't just happen on a whim. We really need to plan for it, and especially if we're not living in like, financial abundance, we are going to need to plan for it even more. So it might take 2 months for you to start saving, for you to start planning in order for this trip to happen. But I feel like some of you are just wanting to get away. So there's a lot of little trips taken here and there, and they're going to inspire you to take that big trip, okay? So I'm seeing a lot of people going to like retreat centers, or even taking like weekend, getaways. And these little trips are really going to inspire you to take the plunge and go for that big trip that might take like 2 months to plan. It might happen for you. I'm going to do it, and it's going to happen, and it's going to happen in 2 months time. So I feel like you're laying out some type of a game plan in order to make education happen, as well as a big trip for yourself, okay? So we have some really good energies. I haven't seen it this strong for you guys for the past 3 months, and I was getting worried. But I feel like this is the month in which, financially things will straighten themselves out. You have a really good power of attraction about you. For those of you who are single, some of you are taking relationships to the next level, wanting to make an offer here for something a little bit more solid, for something a little bit more stable. You're trying to break out of your comfort zone, and you're trying to, I feel like, when I think about Pisces, I think a lot of you guys, you're also like that extension of Aquarius, where you care deeply about people and you care about people in a very emotional way. Aquarius, they know how to detach, but I feel like because you care so much, you might also want to watch your boundaries. But this is the month, I feel, where your energy is coming in very, very strongly. You don't have issues here when it comes to boundaries, because the past 3 months has been about scrapping away what's no longer working. This is the month in which you are overcoming the negative self-talk, all the, self-doubt that you have been kind of like inundated with. Those things are chipping away. And I do sense for some of you, a lot of it has to do with, entering a school environment where you're coming to terms with people who are like-minded. They're inspiring you. And then for others, it's sort of like sitting on that recliner, thinking about what you want your life to look like, but not taking the solid steps to do that for the past 3 months. You're going to do it this month. Okay, and the energy is highly supportive. If it doesn't work out, do it again. So I feel like it's happening in a Mercury retrograde cycle, because this has been something that you were thinking about heavily for the past 4 months. It's coming back in. It can't be ignored. You need to do it. And it starts here with a house move. It starts here with travel. It starts here with finishing up something that you couldn't finish up at a later time. Okay, so you have some really good energies here, Pisces. So let me just talk about this card here, and while I shuffle out for your cards for the love reading. So with the Knight of Pentacles in your in your partnership sector, this can deal with romantic partnerships or business partnerships. Some of you literally could have a romantic partner or a business partner that is this sign or represents the quality of this sign. So this is an earth sign, Taurus, Virgo, or a Capricorn. And it deals heavily with somebody who is very, very sincere. What you see is what you get. They are a little bit hesitant about making offers or making gestures. They're not very they're not a romantic, mushy, warm, cuddly type of a person, but they're very solid. When they say they're going to do something, they're generally in the, where they're supposed to be at the time that they're supposed to be. So it's somebody who is very, very reliable. So for some of you, you could literally be just dating this person, sun, moon, or rising. And there's hopes here about, taking things to the next level. And there's also hopes about wanting to join up with this person to do something. And I feel heavily it is about doing a lot more recreational activities, like outdoor activities, as well as travel. I see a lot of you are thinking about long-term travel. How do we pool our financial resources so that we can make this travel a reality? So it looks very, very good, Pisces. So what's in store for Pisces for the month of... You've got an ex that you need to let go, some of you. You've got an ex that just needs to leave the picture, okay? And I feel like you were putting your life on hold, waiting for this person to come back, waiting on something, and the interaction between the two of you it seems very problematic to me. So fire sign. So Sagittarius, Aries, or Leo. This is somebody you once shared assets with. The relationship was very topsy-turvy, very turbulent. Financially, it's almost like you both, there was like an imbalance between the give and take in that past relationship. And because, if you have left that relationship behind, for instance, I feel almost like there's a lot of fear associated with, that thing that didn't pan out the way you wanted in the past. And it's preventing you from fully investing 100% in a new person. So we're carrying some past fears and insecurities with us from a past relationship, and that's not a good start, okay? So just be careful about that, and treat relationships like, they're brand new. Do start over. And I told Scorpio the fears associated with that, okay? I'm going to pull one more card. And actually, let me give you another one more in the future position, see what's happening. Okay, so here is the thing. We have a person from your past, okay? This is a fire sign. So Sagittarius, Aries, or Leo. This is the Knight of Wands, so a fire sign energy. And what it's telling me here with this energy is that this is a situation that has been problematic for you, possibly children as well. You have some lingering residual energy with this person, and you can't make a clean break from this person. And for some reason, I feel like for many of you, you might realize that life is a lot better, possibly without this person. But there's great chemistry, there's great attraction. And I'm sensing that they come and go into your life, like willingly. They just come and go. And majority of your time is about waiting on them to come back, waiting for things to get better, waiting for things to stabilize. And it seems to me like you should have been very upset about this situation, but you're taking it in strides. And that worries me a little bit. Because it's like if you take something in strides rather than being upset about the other person's possible reckless, flaky, or irresponsible behavior, it seems like you're giving them a lot of leeway to do it again. And so, just be careful about that. I'm also sensing a situation where they might have done something bad, like stepping out on a relationship, because in the foundation we have here the Three of Swords, which means heartache and separation. They might have done something out of character. And I do feel a lot of you are communicating from a distance, okay? So they might like take a trip, for example, and you're communicating with them like long distance. They might leave the state, or they might want to travel and relocate to another area. And so you're sharing assets with this person. Or if you have children together with this person, it's making it very, very difficult for you all to coordinate how the visitation is going to work out. In the past position, we have here the Two of Coins, and the Two of Coins is one person juggling two options. And this is a situation where I feel like you had one solid relationship, and there might have been another person that created temptation as well, and outside of the relationship. So I feel like it was a relationship that was centered around three people. And I'm feeling like it's a very complicated type of a love triangle. You might have been with somebody and you were kind of on and off trying to make things work because of children. I don't feel like you were in love with them anymore. You still care about them, because a lot of you guys, you have trouble forgetting about the past. You have trouble forgetting that great love. You have trouble like letting, if a relationship lasted more than 3 years. You have trouble letting those emotions go. So it was the familiarity, the safety, and in the relationship rather than the love. And so you might have been on and off with somebody, hoping for things to get better, hoping for things to work. While you were waiting for that, you might have started dating. And I feel like this is the month in which you lay that relationship from the past to rest so that you can explore new options, okay? And I feel like a heavy children energy in this spread. So you might have children with another person, and that's the relationship that you are going to have to coordinate how to meet up, how to handle visitation. So with this Three of Swords, it means it's something that still tugs at your heartstrings. You still care about the other person. You might hear news from them that they're possibly thinking about a trip or thinking about relocating as well. And I feel almost as if there might be money necessary coming from your end to their end. They might ask you for some type of a financial favor because you're in a good financial position right now. And so you're going to have to decide where you draw your boundaries. Be very clear, Pisces. Be very clear about drawing boundaries, okay? This is not a person that's in your life anymore, but there is some type of financial discussion that still needs to be had between the two of you. Be very clear about drawing your boundaries, okay? Don't offer up too much because it's not your place right now. They need to take care of things on their own, so don't enable that behavior. And grounding this energy is something that you are thinking about. We have here the Hangman, which is, a situation where we are waiting uncomfortably for the other person. A situation where we're trying to, as well, reassess whether or not it is in our best interest to move forward or to detach ourselves completely. And we have the Six of Coins here. This is a situation where one person's contribution has been taken for granted by another person. And I say this to a lot of water signs in general. You give a lot of yourself, and I feel that you need to learn to hold back, and especially you Pisces, being the last sign of the zodiac, you have a lot of love. You have like the best qualities of all the other signs that precede you, but you also have like the negative traits as well, and I do see boundary issues coming through where you're giving so much of yourself in the past, and the situation was not being reciprocated, and the other person might be like, oh, when my financial situation gets better. And especially if you're dealing with this fire sign, so Sagittarius, Aries, or Leo, that's still lingering. And if you're dealing with people from the past, it's time for you to draw those clear boundaries and to cut them loose, okay? If you have children with them, that's another story. But negotiate and stand firm on what your contributions are, what they expect of you, as well as what you expect of them. Draw firm boundaries, okay? Draw that line in the sand and say, like, these are things that I'm willing to contribute. And these are things you need to take care of on your own. So learn to detach, like loving detachment is something that is absolutely vital for you guys. In the future position, we have here the Page of Coins. So this is a brand new energy. This is an earth sign, a Taurus, a Virgo, or a Capricorn. For those of you who are single and newly dating, you have an ex that is trying to get back in, that's trying to stir things up. But you also have a new person that you're trying to get to know. I feel like there might have been already a few dates that happened, and you're trying to give this person the benefit of the doubt. So Taurus, Virgo, Capricorn, Sun, Moon, or Rising. This is somebody who is very childlike, innocent. I feel like they're very nimble on their toes, like on their feet for some reason. They might have, they might like to dance. I feel somebody who's a really good dancer, so they might be in the dancing profession. And I'm also feeling as if, they hold you on a pedestal. They put you on a pedestal. They really look up to you. The communication between the two of you is very joyous. So I feel almost like this is a really reliable person. And You might already be involved with them. If you are, the relationship is very, very good, okay? If you are newly dating this person, I feel like you want to take the relationship to the next level. I feel for some of you, it's kind of difficult taking a relationship to the next level with a new person if you have children or if they have children. So both of these cards came out, the Queen of Pentacles and the Page of Pentacles. So you might be dealing with somebody who has their own responsibilities when it comes to children. So I'm seeing somebody with children. Okay, you might be dating somebody with children, and so they're not available. Timing, I feel, is a huge conflict, as well as how are things going to work? How are we going to blend our family? Am I supposed to play the role of the father now when I'm dating you and you have a child? Or am I supposed to play the role of the mother? So you're still a little bit scared about entering this relationship. We have as well the Queen of Wands. And the Queen of Wands is showing up here. A lot of you are dealing with like ex-spouses or ex-partners that you have children with, and it's also interfering in the new relationship. Draw clear boundaries, protect yourself, protect your new relationship so that they're not influenced by external, energies from the past, okay? Let me see about new people. You have 2 cards here. So you're shown up here, Pisces, as the Empress. This is a card greatly about reclaiming your power, standing your ground, and being very desirable and also extremely fertile. So if you're out there dating, and I feel like you might have, for those who are, newly single, you have here very strong earth sign, Taurus, Virgo, Capricorn. I'm sorry. And then a fire sign. This is a Sagittarius, Aries, or Leo. Okay. And I feel like they both might have children. Okay. So even if they don't have children, I feel like they have like pets. They have a lot of responsibilities on their plate. You're looking for a relationship where you can give another person a title or they can give you a title. So you don't want to just date around. You want to introduce them as your boyfriend, your girlfriend, your fiance, and your later on, your marriage partner. So I feel like you're not in a position where you're playing the field or you're not interested in playing the field. And so you have to go through some options. So they're telling you to keep your dating circle open and to take things slow, gauge it out. Okay, this is a slowest moving night in the deck. So singles people, try to, take it slow. Try to decide. I feel like the earth sign might be a better option than the fire sign. And I'm also feeling for those in stable relationships right now, your relationships are being taken to the next level. There's a lot of energies from exes, especially if you still share children with them. But I feel like the energy, it is what it is. There's still a little bit of disputes coming through and possibly them wanting to, up the child support or some alimony that needs to be revisited, that needs to, some arrangement that needs to be revised. And so I'm seeing like heavy energies with children, but your dating life looks really good. I feel that you need to just manage, find that work life, romantic life balance, okay? So it's going to be a very, very good dating month. It's going to be a very good month for you guys. So I'm really happy to see this for you. I do wish you the best, so take care of yourself, okay, Pisces? If you'd like to book a private reading with me, please visit my website. The information is in the description box below. And if you also like to donate to my channel as well, it's greatly appreciated. The link for that is also in the description box. I believe I'm only booked like a few days out. So I believe 4 or 5 days out for this month. And so if you'd like to get a reading with me as well, it's best to do it early. All right. I wish you the best. Take care of yourself and I'll talk to you soon. Bye-bye.